people, welcome to Friday Night Builds. I'm Starry Studs, and after a little time away, we're back building some Ninjago. So we've got ourselves here Ninjago City Gardens, set number 71741, and we're probably about halfway through the build. Like I said, I haven't actually built this in a few weeks, but I'm hoping to cram we are in here now tonight and get a bit further through the build. So kind of looking forward to cracking on. We're we're up to the third level. I'll just bring us over a little bit so it's kind of visible on screen. So you can see here we've obviously got the base done previously, but level 1, which is sort of a 2-tier level, and then we've got level 2 built up here as well, and we're just now working on level 3, which is this nice yellow building here. Yeah, we're just going to crack on here and get a little further through the build, see if we'll maybe get this section completed. So essentially we just have this little area to go onto the side here. Just going to move across a little bit. I've got a new desk, so I'm just sort of organising myself here. Nathan Jack says hi. How you doing, Nathan Jack? Hope you're well. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. So we've got another minifigure here. It's kind of first stage of this build anyway. So we've got this lady here who is called Eileen. So give Eileen a little shout out down there in the chat, folks. Say hello and welcome her into our Ninjago City Gardens. I'm not going to place her just yet, so I'll just set her there by the side for now. We'll get our wee sort of sitting up there as well for visibility. And folks, just before I sort of move on too much, do remember to drop us a wee like if you pop into the stream. I will massively appreciate that. A little thumbs up will go a long way to sort of helping pushing the content, and I will appreciate it massively. And if you're enjoying what you see at all, do feel free to pop on over to my channel and drop us a wee sub as well. So I'm just going to crack on here anyway. So we're just doing a wee bit of tile work here, sort of presumably the exterior of this building. This nice green colour. So yeah, I haven't quite managed to get online in a few weeks. For a whole multitude of reasons, but long story short, I have been working a lot. I have had a few sort of niggling pains and injuries over the last few weeks, and just very little desire to do a great deal of anything, to be honest. So yeah, I've been sort of slow on progressing with this build in particular, which is kind of disappointing because I was enjoying it. I was very keen to get it built and get moving on to my next build. So just nice now to commit a wee bit of time here and get a bit through the build. Okay. How's everybody doing anyway? How's your Friday night? It's the start of the weekend, which is obviously great. I don't know what everyone's plans are, but obviously I'm going to try and get a wee bit of Lego building in here, and then I have more work tomorrow. So, but yeah, I'm working tons at the minute. It's just that time of year where I help another company out and they have Christmas lights and stuff like that. So, I guess we're a bit busy this time of year, but it just gives me a bit of extra money, which means that I can buy a little bit more Lego as well. So needs, must, and all that. Alright. So I'm not entirely sure what this little build is that I'm doing at the minute. Sort of previous to tonight on this particular floor, we built what appears to be some sort of little museum. There's a little doorway that brings you in at the front here, a little desk to get through. There's what sort of appears like a Ninjago statue on the wall in Lego form, and then there's a few little stands where you can buy bits and pieces, and then just on through there's a couple of sort of things displayed. So I presume it's like a museum style thing, but I've mentioned sort of on previous streams, I'm not terribly familiar with Ninjago. I haven't ever watched it at any point. Oh, look at this piece. This is a very good piece. I've not ever come across this before. It's quite difficult to describe actually. It looks like a sort of dark bluish grey 2x2 brick, but then it's got rounded edges, so it's probably about 3 wide in total. Probably works out about a 2x3. Let's have a look. It is in total, yes, 2x3 wide in total, but kind of made up of these sort of half curves on either side. So that's quite a cool piece. Be interested to see how they use that. J Cook K9F says hi. Hey J Cook K9F, how are you? Hope you're well. Thanks for dropping by. So you do sort of tend to get sometimes some really interesting part uses in these sets. Not just usage, they're very creatively used as well. Particularly on some of the other levels, some very creative and imaginative ways to use random parts, such as games controllers, for example, used to create an awning above a little doorway, which I thought was very cool. It just sort of helps give a lot of these parts like an alternative purpose. And I love building these sets as well, because you get those ideas as to how alternatively you could use pieces, and I suppose just for future mock building and stuff, it just gives you some ideas on how you can create different shapes and nice sort of unique patterns and stuff like that. I've left the door to the room open that I'm streaming in, and our little robot vacuum cleaner is rattling around the house at the minute, and he can be a bit noisy sometimes. For anyone that's interested, his name's Eric. I thought that was a neat name for a robot vacuum, but maybe that's just me, I don't know. Okay. So, by the looks of it, that's so noisy. One second, just need to go and close the door here. There we go. I'll keep him a bit quieter. Okay, so this little piece that I was talking about then, this sort of interesting 2x2 brick, like I say, with rounded edges and each side. So it's meant to have a sticker on it. I'm not putting the sticker on as I haven't been throughout this set. Something I might revisit at some point, because I am missing a lot of detail as a result of not having the stickers on it, so I might come back to it. But it's actually acting as a little television in this set, which is cool. Just these two drawers to pop in. And then we have a couple of dark tan 2x1 plates on top. Yeah, I've kind of been really keen to progress the build on this set, because I have just taken delivery of a couple of new sets to my collection that I'm really keen to get building. That's a mistake. I will probably do a little haul video at some point. Sort of have a look at everything I've picked up so far in November. But one of the sets that I've got, the one that I'm probably most looking forward to building, is the Goonies set. So I ordered that on launch day. I actually did. It was down in the Lego store, and they had it in the window as well on display, and I'm so impressed with how it looks. So I'm really happy that I've picked that up. It's a very good set. So it came there. what I might do is just anything. I'll probably be making a few more orders towards Black Friday. I think we usually have a few good gifted purchases and some deals. I'll probably pick up a few more pieces then. I might do an unboxing video of kind of everything I've picked up across that period. Doesn't go there. That goes there. And then I've got a nice printed tile here. It's like a little, I don't know if there's like an entrance panel or something perhaps into this building. I'll just go down on that side there. So nice colour scheme here. It's all very much built up of greens, but a couple of different shades of greens. I like this kind of olive green colour, it's nice. And the bright green actually is really nice as well. The two of them sure complement one another really well. So most of the sides of the building built up, and it's quite a small little unit this. It does take up a very small spot, like maybe a 7 by 12 section within this layer of the build, so it is quite small. So it's not going to be packed full of details, that's for sure. Well, having said that, some of the spaces on the other levels very sort of creatively detailed, and given again how sort of small the footprint of the buildings are, there's a good amount of detail within. So we're now just building the kind of the shop frontage or the store frontage. It looks like it's all built sort of studs not on top, which is quite cool. And then tiled off to sort of give the facade a slightly more interesting appearance. Hey Rosie, EG1IZ, how are you? Thank you very much for stopping by. Remember folks, anyone that's just tuning in, give that screen a wee double tap there, hit that thumb icon, show me a bit of love, I really appreciate it. Doesn't cost you anything to do, and well, sure what's the harm. Even if you've no interest in the content or like it at all, just throw me a thumbs up anyway. Yeah, so the actual frontage is built like that, and then it's going to be flipped up on its side and get tiled off, and then attached onto these knockers we have on the side. So it's a nice way to create a slightly more interesting sort of facade for the building. So far we've got these 3 layers. We're working on a 4th layer, although the bottom layer is technically 2. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 8 completely independent units, which is very cool for, given kind of the footprint that they're covering. It's 32 by 32 base plate. base plate rather, and you know, got lots of sort of different buildings representing different sort of shops and cafes or restaurants, and you know, all sorts of, you know, different things, which is very cool. It's a great thing about these Ninjago sets. They're so kind of vertical in nature that they make such really good use of the space that they're sort of built onto. Because you've got those layers, not verticality, you can cram so much more detail and interest into the actual set itself, you know, without having to spread it out across an unreasonably large footprint. It's got a real sort of Minecraft creepery vibe about it, this little section, isn't it? Just a little bit of detail and then going on to the front of the window here. Very simply done, just again a couple of little brackets to sort of throw a stud on the front, and then we're just using studs and the wee quarter round tiles just to create a little bit of interest on the front. Yeah, a couple of more brackets here. And then that just sort of rather straightforwardly tips in then. So just adds a little window in and a little bit of framing around it as well, which is nice. And there's a load of jumpers to go in here. It's a very interesting way to sort of front off this building. Instead of building it up with bricks, just flipped it all around and we're working with sort of tiles and jumpers. And then just sort of layering that up with various details as we go along. Then we just finish off with a little flower pot at the end. So again, we're just, oh, this is quite interesting. So it's actually, the flower pot itself is built using, it's kind of like a little skirt piece almost. Don't know how best to describe it. It would usually be, it is usually a little sort of minifigure accessory. And it just kind of sits on the sideways studs coming out of this snot piece, and then the sort of flower stems hold it in place. That's another quite interesting technique used to create these little flowers. It is a bit tight and it's a bit crammed, but then that just gives the impression of sort of just a little bit of busyness, I suppose. And then that just clips onto the side. I don't really like the way that they're sitting, but I'm not sure there's an easier way to do it. That'll be okay. So we're going in, that's that little sort of frontage done there then. And there's just a little bit more detail on the inside of the window now, and again it's just using a few small little plant pieces, and then opulette, interestingly enough. Which again is just sitting on a little snot brick. And then everything just kind of gets held in place. again, like I said, some really interesting part usages within these sets. And again, we've just used a couple of sort of minifigure accessories as like plant pots and this, the sort of apulette almost kind of masquerades as like a little dish really that's my little plant sitting on, so you can just see it there. I don't know how sort of visible that is, but and then that just slides on to the side. There's not pieces there. And there we now have the front of the building up. Hey puppy girls, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm good. I'm good, thanks. Haven't really been on here a huge amount of late. I have just so much crap going on really. Between working loads, I sort of do a little extra work at this time of year, just helping sort of a friend in this company out with Christmas decorations and sort of all those kind of preps. So I've been working away at that, just takes up so much of the time. I'm basically just working 7 days a week at the minute. And then on top of that, I have hurt my back on my shoulder. Yeah. Yeah, been an interesting little period, so I've just been kind of working on getting by. What about you? How are you feeling? Like, having said that, all things considered, I'm grand, I'm 100%. It's just part of getting older, isn't it? What have we got here? Alright. So that's a nice wee stand there for an umbrella. And yeah, generally speaking, life's good. Just a really busy time of the year as well. Even with my own work, that sort of whole countdown to Christmas really sort of cranks up pretty much as soon as Halloween is over. Just gets busier and busier, and there's quite a bit to think about. So, but it's fun as well. And then the plus side of all the extra work is I've got loads more money, and I can spend a little bit more Lego without feeling super guilty. Okay, we're just building a little easel of sorts here, which is very cool. So I actually think it goes a bit further in the middle. There we go. Is that right? I think we can work with that. No, that way. Come on, you boy. So this must be like a little art gallery or something. This, or not an art gallery, but the person that lives here must be an artist of some description. So we've just, there is meant to be a sticker on this, which is a painting of it's actually a painting of Ninjago City Gardens itself. So I'll show you the sticker. that's the sticker there at number 10. I don't know how well you can see that, but yeah, that's kind of the sticker there. So that's what's meant to be represented on the easel that I'm creating or putting together here. But I'm not putting the stickers on. Maybe should I put that one on? Oh, I don't know. I think on the grounds I haven't put any on to this point. I'm just gonna leave it for now. But perhaps, like I said, in the future, I will add that in. So yeah, whoever lives in here is obviously an artist. We've got like we've got a telescope out the back. We've got lots of plants, a little easel with a paintbrush and a bit of painting going on, and various other little contraptions in there. So I don't know if this belongs to Eileen. If there's any Ninjago fans watching at the minute, and you can sort of enlighten me as to who Eileen is and what Eileen sort of might do, then perhaps that will help me understand a little bit better what I'm working with here. So that's a bit of a curious one. We've just we were just kind of building sort of the next facade here of this little hut, and it's basically made up of a 2x2 inverted slope, two 2x1 green bricks, and then unlike the other side which used a 2x3 tan brick, which makes sense, here we've actually made a tan brick up from two 2x3 plates and three 2x1 plates. So instead of using one brick, we've used 5 plates. So I don't really entirely understand the logic of that, especially given that we used plates on the other side of this building. So it just seems like an unnecessary parts usage, really. And then that's replicated on the other side. So again, we've got, instead of using 2 bricks, we've actually used 5 plates, or 10 plates, 5 on each side. So I don't entirely follow that logic. The cynic within us would suggest that it's sort of artificially inflating the parts count to sort of give the impression, I suppose, of better value. I don't really understand entirely why you would bother doing that, given it's a 4,000 piece set. I don't think dropping it by a few parts is going to make that big of a difference to sort of people's perception of the cost on the basis of the number of parts used. It's just a rather strange move, I think. So again, it's just sort of the kind of front face of this building is created using, excuse me, bricks on their side, and then it's plated off. And we have attachment points on the sides of the wall here to add in. So you can just get this really nice sort of tiled off pattern on the side of the building, which is nice. This will actually finish book 2, but which is quite nice. That's really good progress. Probably that's down to the final book. Still a good few bags to go. We're still a good bit of the build left. And once obviously we've finished this main section here, there is a side build that goes along with it. A little sort of gardens. Which I suppose, as the name suggests, you would kind of expect. And now the rear of this building is exactly the same as the front. It's again just the little window with the brackets, just allowing for some quarter round tiles and a stud to go on to create a wee bit of detail. goes in like so. That all gets tied over. So yeah, I've got this new table in as well actually, and it's only in here temporarily. It'll eventually sort of work its way up into my Lego room, and I'll kind of bring a lot more of my sort of building stuff up into that room. But I thought I'd get a wee sit-stand desk because I'm struggling at the minute with a bit of back pain, and sitting for too long hurts, standing for too long hurts as well, to be honest. So I just thought if I get a sit-stand desk, then I can kind of vary my activity and I can do a wee bit of work sitting down and a wee bit of work standing up. I haven't actually plugged it in yet, so I built it last night. I just carried it down to this room today, but I haven't plugged it in yet, so I haven't actually tested that it works. I should imagine it does. Okay, so another wee flower pot here. It just attaches onto the exterior of the building. And it looks lovely. I actually much prefer how that one is sitting compared to the other one, but I'm not going back to change anything. And then we still have a wee bit more detail on the inside here as well. So again, it just looks like a little sort of square vase with a plant in it. But in this occasion, it's all tied off a little bit as well. Just got that on there, and that slides into there. And then another one of these little lights. Okay, and then that just clips on to the rear, and that completes that little building. Now we just have some detailing to do, so it's just a bit of a railing then that goes around the front of the building here, just to make it a little bit safer. So we're going to work on that. It's just a lot of repetition here. So we'll do all these wee parts together. So we've got 3 of them. Pop that on there. And then 2 like this. And then we just have some little sort of upturned handcuffs clipped into these wee 1 by 1 modified plates with the clip, and then that just adds like a wee bit of detail. It's almost like a wee bit of a sort of barrier style, and just stopping our figures from walking out over the edge, I suppose. Okay, and then lightsaber hilts here. Seems a bit long, really. Am I not wrong? Don't think I have. So that goes on there, but it just feels really long, and everything is where it's meant to be. Anyhow, it is right, it's how it's meant to be, so. And then that one just clips on like. Oh. Okay, maybe I have done something wrong here. Yeah, I have. That's what the problem is. So that's not maybe one there. This goes in. Yeah, it's much better. I did think it seemed a bit long for some reason. And then here we have that, okay. And that stretches the whole way across this side. And that keeps everyone nice and safe from falling out over the side of that building. Happy days. And then there's a couple more wee flower pots in, they're just sort of attached to the side of the railings. So that's a wee bit more detail, and I suppose just there's a couple of pretty substantial gaps kind of in between the vertical bars and the railing, and that just kind of conceals all of that really nicely. And then a bit of wee flowers in here. Nice wee light blue ones. I'll have two of those to make. No, this part shouldn't be left over. No, it goes here. Okay, well I'll toss these on then. Okay, so just clip in underneath the bars, and yeah, it just fills in. There's a couple of gaps, like I say, between kind of the vertical posts and the railing. But these old plant pots then do a really good job of just filling that in and making it look a little bit more complete and safe. And I think that not only finishes that bag, but also finishes the book. So that's really good. We're making really good progress. Now that actually takes us on into book 3, which is the final book within the build. A few little extra pieces here. Just organise myself and move these bits. Oh dear. Out of the way. I'll just leave the extra pieces sitting there for now. I did knock a couple onto the floor. There we are. So this building then, or this, I'm going to actually pop this lady just, I don't know, she can just stand in the alley here for now, just looking out over the railings. So this building then sits neatly atop here, and they've got some real verticality. Just bring it across a little bit so you can see it a bit better. Now you can see we've got these 4 sort of individual stories here. I can't remember if there's actually a means of getting from the bottom to the top. I don't think there actually is. Probably got a set of stairs in here that takes you from this floor up to the level above, but I couldn't actually see any means of getting from the bottom floor, but anyway, neither here nor there. Navy Shadow asked me, do you like Ninjago? Great question, mate. I love these Ninjago sets. I'm a big fan of the, these sort of Ninjago City style sets. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but I've got the Ninjago City docks sitting atop there. I do have Ninjago City built as well, but it's in another room. But I'm not really a big fan of Ninjago itself. I'm not terribly familiar with it. I would have been, well, firstly, I wasn't really into Lego at the time Ninjago came out, and I would also have been a bit old really to be enjoying it. So I never really got the chance to sort of get into it. I've never followed it. I've never watched any of the shows or any of the movies or anything like that. So I'm not massively familiar with it. But you know, I love the concept of it. I love, you know, the design of some of these buildings. They're really sort of bright and interesting and fun. And then some of the temples and mechs and stuff are really good as well. What about you? Are you a fan? So anyway, we're moving on to bag 17. Quite a few parts in here. We also have our next minifigure. So I'll just empty this all out here and then sort through it. I do have a couple of other smaller Ninjago sets in my collection, but sorry, let me get rid of those bags because they're very noisy. I got the Dragon Shrine, which released very recently, but I just thought that was a really good set, and I sort of intend to try and utilise it within my layout in some shape or fashion. I don't know exactly how, but I think it has a ton of potential to be used in some capacity. So we've got our next minifigure here. I think this is Jay or Kai. Shows how much I know. So yeah, I've got Kai here, so he's in his red. And he has a sword somewhere within this. Oh, there it is. He's got his nice silver katana there, which just feeds into his little holder. So there we go. There's let me just pop him onto this, and I can hold him up. Let's have a little look. So there we have Kai in his ninja getup. So actually nice printing on the front of the torso and the front of the legs. He has two different faces. He's got like one sort of happy one, and then he's got another one where he's sort of scowling with a little plaster above his eye as well. So he's pretty cool. So I'll just pop him there, and then we'll crack on with the build. Yeah, so I just never really, I just wasn't involved in Lego when Ninjago was becoming a thing, and I would have been in a very different stage in my life at that point. You know, I wouldn't have been interested in that sort of content and stuff. So I never really got into it. But as I said, I really appreciate some of the sets that they bring out and some of the models and some of the designs. There's some pretty awesome stuff there. And some of there's a couple of the necks I brought out recently. There's two of them. I'm not even gonna try and remember what they were called, but there's like a green one and a red one, at the risk of sounding like a complete dummy. They look amazing. If I didn't have so much other Lego to build and purchase and work with, I'd maybe consider getting something like that, but unfortunately we cannot have everything. So we're not really sure actually what this layer is. I think there's like another full layer here with like a little hut and then a sort of more significant tower on one side. So we're just kind of starting to layer that up now. Yeah, sort of build the plate work for the foundations of it. And again, using a lot of angles. We're using a lot of angle tiles and stuff to sort of build up and create the shape here. Not sure where this is going to sit yet. I don't know if this will be like this or maybe like that actually. we'll see. We should have a good picture of what's this going to be by the time we finish these bags here. I don't know how much more I'm going to build beyond this, to be honest. I hadn't actually intended on doing live at all tonight, but I sort of had, like I said, I just moved this new desk into place. I'm just keen to sort of try it out for size almost, and I've just got a wee sort of bit of free time in the house. Everyone else is out, so I thought, you know what, I'll crack on YouTube, do a wee quick live, and get a wee bit more of the set build. I do really want to get finished. Like I say, I've got so many other builds coming up, and obviously we've got season 5 of Stranger Things fast approaching. I've actually just rewatched the entire seasons 1 to 4 with the rest of my family. My children have never seen it. They would have been a bit young whenever it was previously out, so it was actually quite fun to watch it with them. And to be honest, amazing how much of it I'd forgotten sort of prior to watching it, so it was quite fun to watch it again on that basis. But basically what I'm trying to say is, obviously season 5 is just around the corner, end of this month, and I do have the upside down house set to build. Now I've been really struggling to bring myself to open it, because obviously it has shot a lot in value, especially brand new in box. There's a lot of interest and demand in it. I suspect it's probably going to work a little bit more whenever this new season releases, especially with there being another set coming out. I know at this point, I don't think has it been officially revealed? I can't remember. I think maybe it has. It's the Creel House. So I also thought, wouldn't it be great to do a little series building the upside down, sort of whilst also watching the new season of Stranger Things. So I don't know if I'll do that or not, but I kind of wanted to have myself in a position where I'm not building anything else. I'm not very good at building multiple sets at the same time. I like to just concentrate on one set. I like to, just kind of see a build through to completion before I start on to something else. So yeah, I kind of want to get this one finished just to give me the luxury of being able to turn into something else if I choose. So something doesn't seem right here. Oh, okay. That's me. Did something wrong. There we go. So yeah, let me know what you think. Should I build the upside down house? Or should I just keep that bad boy boxed up? I suppose a lot of people argue what's the point buying it if you're not going to build it, and I totally agree with that to an extent. I have sort of been scouring the second hand market as well to see if maybe I could get my hands on a second copy of it, a pre-owned one that had previously been built, and then I could hold on to my new box copy to perhaps sell on at some point in the future and recoup a bit of money, but I don't know. I've sort of cut back on my Lego investing quite a bit. I am still getting the odd wee bit here and there, but I'm not really getting too much these days because I'm just sort of changing my Lego habits quite a bit, and I'm hopefully really close to sort of getting some proper work done on my layout. And it's cost a lot of money, to get the parts together to build up a layout. So, I kind of would much prefer to spend a bit more on stuff like that than, spending a ton of money on sets. I don't mind buying sets if I can then sort of factor them into the layout and incorporate them in some way, but Lego's pretty expensive. And they release a lot of sets, and a lot of it is really good. And, for the most part, I want a lot of what they put out, but it's just so unreasonable for me to expect to be able to get everything I want. So yeah, I'm just trying to be a little bit more careful with my spending and with what I get. And I am absolutely sort of picking up much less Lego than I have been previously. And like I said, that also kind of includes picking up investment sets as well. So I am picking up, much less of that. So I don't know what we're building here, but there's like I suspect this is going to be hidden. Pretty hard to get this wee tile in properly. So yeah, we have like a little compartment that we're kind of building into the back of this section of the build here. And like I say, I've my suspicions that it's then going to be sort of tiled or painted over and kind of be like underneath the floor or something like that. Can't find a piece though. No, there it is. So yeah, this and then it's kind of built up like a little vault here. One of these. Yeah, it's a vault and has like a teal wedge piece inside it, whatever that would represent. I have no idea. And then we've just got like a little sort of vault door here that we can then close over. And well, with a bit of difficulty, it should close over if I done something wrong. No. See if we did. It doesn't really want to close for some reason. Have I done something wrong? No. Maybe we need to lift that up a bit, perhaps. Let's try it this way. So theoretically, it should close, but oh, I know it's wrong. The box is on the wrong way. Okay. If I then put that in like so, I'm going to toss that. So this little door then, oh, with immense difficulty does open and close. That's not the best design there. It does really struggle. So we do have a vault door here. Fabulous. One thing just smashes every time trying to close it. Oh, my back's still so sore. Right, anyway, we're just going to leave it sort of hinged across rather than closed fully. I actually suspected the way I had it on previously was indeed the correct way to put it on, because there is a slight variation in that box shape. I'll just leave it like so anyway. I don't know if there's a necessity for that door closed to allow for other parts of the build. Oh, there we go. Brilliant. It's closing now. So there we have that. So yeah, I don't know what this is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be how accessible it is. Well, let's build on anyway. We'll have a wee look at that sort of on down the line. So yeah, as I was saying, yeah, I'm just kind of checking, I suppose, my Lego house. And I haven't said that, bought quite a few bits this month, and I have actually bought a couple of bits of a few bits of investment pieces this month. But I suppose the difference is, this time of the year, there are some crazy good deals gets kind of thrown out, particularly across sort of Amazon and some of the other retailers. Now, I passed up on a lot. It's compared to previous years where I've been just buying at this time of the year. Sort of nearly up to Black Friday, it can get a bit relentless actually with the deals that have been thrown away. But so we're holding off for. So what I am actually holding off for is Ninjago City Markets, because I don't have that one yet, and that is due to retire the end of this year. And I suppose in reality it could retire at any point. Now, I've held off for as long as I could on the basis that whenever Ninjago City Gardens, this set that I'm building here today, was retiring, it actually went on sale on Lego.com, and it was really well reduced actually. But as well as that, it was on sale at a time when there were some other really good incentives, such as double points and some really good gift of purchase as well. So realistically, that would have represented the best time to buy this set, because obviously it's only available from Lego. You can't get it anywhere else. So discounts are few and far between. So to be able to get it reduced and to also get, you know, the double reward points and any gift of purchase made it a really, really, really good time to buy. So I'm just hoping that come Black Friday, they do something similar again this year, but with the markets, to try and clear out the markets. And assuming they do, I will strike immediately and get that picked up, because I don't want to sort of let it retire and then have to rely on the secondary market to try and pick it up. So that is kind of one of the things that I'm holding off for towards the end of this month. There's also the Christmas gift with purchase that comes out every year, and this year's, it hasn't been officially confirmed yet, but I've seen a few rumours floating around. And the set that I saw displayed, it's like a little hot chocolate stand, which I thought was pretty neat. I really liked it. So if it turns out to be that, I would definitely be trying to pick myself up a couple of those. And you do usually find as well, at this time of the year, they do generally sort of throw in maybe like multiple gifts of purchase, you know, so it's a good opportunity to kind of maximise your Lego direct purchases anyway. So that is kind of part of the reason why I'm trying not to pick up too much now, and I have passed up on some good deals. But I'm just trying to hold back a little bit now on the proviso there may be some really good deals sort of around the corner. What about anybody else? Is there anyone that's watching, is there any sets that you're sort of holding off on or sort of need to pick up before they retire? It's always a real game, isn't it? You know, trying to sort of time it right, and you know, hoping that maybe the set that you're after gets a reduction or something before it retires, and then next thing you know it's sold out and you can't get it, and you're kind of cursing yourself for not picking it up when it was available. Okay, so we've finished this little section here anyway. I think my suspicion is it goes here. Yeah, it does. So it's quite cool. They've actually put these, it's like the 2x2 corner brick, but it's the brick with a wee angle. And that actually sort of fits, it's the 45-degree angle, which fits the sort of cut around the top of the wall in this building here. So rather than using a point of attachment, this just really neatly slides it into that, and gravity kind of holds it in place. So that's pretty good. I like the way they've done that. I'm going to leave it up there for now actually, until I build it next section. And this just looks like it looks like a little, not really sure what how to describe this. Looks like a little hut of some sort. There's a wee table in the middle with a little plant on it. So maybe somewhere you can come and meditate or something, I don't know. But it's good. Right, so we've got a few. It's very smart actually the way they use these little plant stalks. Oh, I used the right colour here. Is it brown or red? I think that's red actually. yeah, they've used the little plant stalks to kind of create an attachment point above and below this. I'll have to get this back off again if it's the wrong colour. So yeah, basically the plant stock goes through the stud with a hole in it, which then goes through this sort of round panel here, and then we use another of the studs with a hole to connect to the plant stock on the other side, which then gives you a point of attachment, because obviously this round plate here doesn't have any attachment points on it for studs, and that then allows you to connect it to there, and then that creates the nice little style tape. And that just goes down into the middle of this plate. I'll say once again, lads, anyone that's just tuning in, or guys, lads, ladies, all the above, don't forget to give us a wee thumbs up. Would appreciate it. It's not hard to double tap your screen or hit that thumb. It helps me out, and I do appreciate it. Funny enough, the back of what we were just saying, as I speak, I'm getting those wee notifications here on my computer of tons of offers that are kind of flooding through. It's just relentless at this time of the year, it really is. A lot of retailers are sort of starting the process of trying to clear down stock in preparation for new stuff coming in next year. And obviously with Christmas fast approaching, it's a great opportunity to, push stuff onto parents and the like. Okay, well, where do these go? These go in here. Right, and these are rather interesting and fancy little builds, so we'll do them in twos. Maybe it's a bit early to talk about it, I don't know, but does anybody have any sets lined up for Christmas? Anything you'll be asking for? I very rarely get any Lego for Christmas. My family are generally reluctant to even take a chance at buying me something in case I already have it, which is understandable, because for a long time, if there's anything I wanted, I didn't sort of hesitate to pick it up. But it actually surprised me with a wee sort of set for my birthday. No, not for my birthday, for Father's Day actually, so maybe we'll get lucky this Christmas with a wee something here. What about the rest? Is anything you're hoping to get sort of in the next, sort of over the festive period over Christmas? Not really sure actually what I would want if someone, actually I do know. There is one set that I really want right now. It's the Lego Ideas Gizmo from the Gremlins. I loved the Gremlins when I was growing up, particularly the first one. I think the first one was fab. That Gizmo, I don't know, it just looks insane. I think it's so uncannily like the sort of movie representation. I just think it's phenomenal. Such a good design, such a good looking build, and will display so well. So I do really want it. And I haven't sort of made sort of any attempts to pick it up myself at this point, so that would be a really cool one if somebody got me that. But as I said, I don't sort of hold out much hope or expect a huge amount. Like I said, most people seem reasonably convinced that if I want something, I'll probably have bought it myself already. So there's a general reluctance to take a punt on a set for me for a present. I'd be happy enough just with a voucher for Lego. Well, that's what actually I got for my birthday. My wife had wanted to pick me up the minifigure gumball machine, but whenever she went to purchase it, it was sold out on Ninjago.com, which was a real shame because that would have been class. She got me that, I would have been so surprised. So yeah, unfortunately it was sold out, but instead she got me a voucher. This kind of condition was that when the set became available, I was to use the voucher to pick that up, so I did. I haven't built it yet, but I might actually build that one quite soon, because I do like when people sort of make the effort to get me sort of like as a present or a gift. I do prefer to build it, but a lot of stuff I buy for myself. I sometimes can sit for ages before I sort of even attempt building it. But I just think if someone's made the effort to get you something, it's nice to show an interest in it and build it. Okay, so I think it's just kind of building up the roof section of this little sort of hut over. It's almost like a little pergola or something. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just a little kind of meditation chamber or something. There's some incredibly random things in it here. We've got sort of in the middle of the roof, or I guess underneath the roof itself, sort of in the, what would it be? Hold on, let me actually get to that part first. I suppose it would be the kind of framework for the roof. There is a orange helmet, an orange space helmet, and a couple of roller skates. So I don't quite know what that represents. Again, I just don't know anything about Ninjago, so this could be a very specific reference that to a Ninjago fan will obviously mean something, but to me it doesn't particularly mean anything. I don't mean that in a bad way. I literally don't entirely understand, what it represents. Just again, like I said, boils down to the fact I've no sort of Ninjago prior, but there you can see in the middle of the roof we've got the orange spaceman's helmet. So, like I said, it could very well mean something, but I don't have a clue. I don't know if there's some Ninjago fans on here that could educate me a little bit. Oh wow, right, okay, so we've got a lot of funky stuff going on here, so this is class. Again, it's this really, really, really interesting sort of part usage for roofing and stuff like that. I've said in the past, we've roofs here made from like inverted jumpers, with like awnings made out of game console controllers, with awnings made out of meat cleavers. Now we've got one made out of, or an entire roof that is designed using the sort of lids of chests. So that's very cool. I have just noticed a piece that is left over. Unless it's... where have I missed that? I need to go back through and see if I can find. So I've got like a 1 by... oh, there it is. It's... okay. carry on building here. Just getting a bit excited about sort of the chest pieces being used to design or to do the roofs. But that is something that I've definitely become very, very used to within these Ninjago sets. They do use some sort of creative and interesting parts to create very realistic and interesting looking roofs. And it's not even just the roofs, like there's a lot of good uses throughout, but that's kind of one of the areas in particular that has really sort of stood out to me. And then we need our bars here. More bar action going on. And these are just for the. Obviously, we have to attach the chest pieces somehow to create the impression of a roof. And in order to do that, we've just pop these bars onto the side. And then it just uses the modified 2x1 plate with a clip on the end. And then they're actually literally just attaching to. Make sure I've got this the right way. I want to actually put these all on first. Because they do go on a specific way. I just want to make sure that they're going on the right way every single time. And this will actually be the end of this bag. And then this wee building just sort of sits on the module that we built previously, which will then sit on top of our build. Okay, complete. Complete one side of the top floor. The other side is much more significant. So with that we have just make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. Yeah, on the other side we have the kind of more tower-like structure. Excellent. I know, but I think it looks good. Oops. I think that's so well done. And then even just the way they've positioned various sort of parts down below, just to hold them kind of in a specific place, and also to sort of vary the height of them as well, so that there's a little bit more interest. It's very, very cool. Just let you have a look then, so you can see. I'll come around to the camera. There you can see how they've used those pieces. So as you can see here, these are the chest lids, just attached by these 2x1 plates with a clip on the end, and then that creates what I think is a very cool sort of roof. And as I say, this then just attaches on to here. I don't think it matters which way it goes around, to be honest. I think it's the same on both sides. And as I expected, that just clips onto the top here. I'm just going to pop Kai up top. He's obviously up there doing a wee bit of training. And that is the end of bag 17. So I will actually start the next bag. I'll start bag 18. That's right, I'm waiting for the rest of my family at home, and then we'll sort of carry on and do a little bit more building. So this kind of gets us started on the first structure that goes over here. We also have another minifigure. Who is it? It is Urban Cool. So yeah, we have Urban Cool, who's got a very neat t-shirt on and a vest top actually. We also have another really funky t-shirt, another piece I've never seen before. There's two of them actually. I'm not entirely sure what it represents, because some cool printed pieces in here too. Just pop these bags out of the way and I'll stop the rustling. Yeah, so we've got this piece here. Like I said, I've never seen before. Let me put Cole together. I'll bring him over, let you have a wee look at him. I'll bring these pieces over as well. We just sort of have a wee look at everything together. He is carrying a controller, so he's obviously doing a bit of gaming. And then I'll show you these couple of extra pieces as well. So there we have our, what are we doing? Our Cole minifigure. So you can see there he's got a funky black vest then with a guitar jamming away, and then he's got dirt splatters all over his jeans. Nice printing on the jeans there actually. He then has a bit of a sort of wry, sort of half smiled face on there. And on the back he's got a bit of a frown going on, and then there's a bit of print on the back. There's obviously a tour. And then he just has like a sort of black hair piece then, with a very kind of ruffled hair. And then so we've got this cool printed tile here, which has what looks like a ninja with flaming hands, which is pretty neat. And then this piece, which I've never seen before, but it has little feet on the bottom of it. And then a round sort of 2x2 plate on top. So it looks like, whoop, there it goes. Looks like something you'd see in maybe like a Mario set or something. That's alright, I got it. So I've not come across them before. I've never built one of those, so I'll be intrigued to see what that's used for. There's a really cool 3D sign on this section of the build as well, so I'll kind of look forward to getting that. I wonder if you can guess what it might be. So I'll build a little bit here, but I'm not going to do too much. Because I'm going to go and chill soon with the farm, so I'll crack on with a wee bit and I'll see how far I get. Sort of shade this here, it's like an aqua. It's very cool. Again, as with each sort of build, we start off just sort of creating the floor essentially, which is just made up of plates. A bit more substantial on this side though. sort of main foundation of the floor built up then. Now we're just starting this kind of layer it up a wee bit. A wee bit of sort of framing presumably for maybe walls, windows, doorways, that kind of stuff. Again, some really interesting part usage here. So I've seen this piece used as glasses on a brickhead before, but in this case it sits in between a couple of clips and it just creates a really, really nice barrier. That's such a fantastic idea for the barrier or fence. This doesn't seem right here. That doesn't go there, that should be here. Okay. Sorry, I'm sort of probably building a little bit quicker and chopping a little bit less here because as I said, I just want to get this finished. Actually now, to be honest, I'd like to get this finished before anyone else returns, so I'm kind of cracking on through a little bit faster. Just the walls do kind of layer up. So we're sort of adding in, various parts at the minute that just create like clips and pinholes to put pins into, and then just little sort of bars across here. So we're just essentially adding a lot of detail in at this stage before we then start building up the walls and stuff. So there is nice detail and attention sort of in these builds, even though they are generally quite small in nature. As I was saying before, each of the individual little huts, there is still a lot of sort of fun part usage and interesting details kind of throughout. A wee bit of tile work here as well, then just kind of neaten it all up a wee bit. Remove sort of a few of those studs. Okay, so there's something going on the side of this building. So we do have a bit of technical work going on here. We do have a little cog and a sort of axle or something going into the side of the building. So I don't know what it will actually be for, but suppose we'll find that out sort of further down the build. I'm sure it'll be something interesting. Now with a lovely sort of wall section here that's built sideways with a nice sort of translucent pink panel through it, which is very cool. Could also just be for detail. There might be no functionality in that, but you know. Cool. I think we're probably going to repeat this, but invert it on the other side. Just a slight variation. But similar again, we've got these nice translucent pink bricks in place then, just to add a little bit of extra interest to the side of the wall and bring a bit of colour into it. Okay, let's keep going. And then again, just using so we have like a little hinge piece in here, but the hinge is actually completely closed. And all it does is create this kind of nice little sort of bump out of the wall. Again, just a wee bit of extra detail, just throwing a wee brick on the side. Just goes across the top and holds everything nicely in place and just frames it all off. Okay, you've got this neat wall then with the cool sort of translucent pink lines run through it. Right, another big sticker goes on this section, which again I won't be putting on. In this case, it looks like a large poster of some description. It would be lovely to put it against a detail that I'm missing out on. But as I said in the past, I may come back and add sort of the stickers in at some point and just sort of add that detail in. The sticker goes on the glass panel. The glass panel sits in there between all of those, and that comes down and holds it in place. So again, yeah, you're kind of losing out a load of detail there by not having that sticker in place, unfortunately. So I may come back and put that in. Okay, and there is actually a bit of functionality to the cogs and stuff that were on the side of this build. So it looks like we've got like a wee ladder that rolls up and down. And it uses kind of it has the plates with like the sort of little sort of grooves on them. I don't know how easy it is to see that. And that all sort of connects together and creates a little sort of emergency access ladder or something like that goes up and down. So I wasn't sure if it was for design or if there was some sort of functionality to it, but it turns out there is. So if you look here, turn that there, and it just rotates the ladder up and down. And then we have like a little sort of bar on the inside here, which prevents it from going any further upwards or down, just holds it within its place. So it's kind of like an access ladder, and it also provides access into the little doorway as well, so it's very good. Again, with loads of details on the inside that we're missing out on the grounds. I'm not putting the stickers in, so we have like a TV or computer screen actually on the inside, and then a picture on the wall. But again, without repeating myself too much, I'll come back to that in the future if I want to. Okay, a couple of wee lights then going in there, and then we just have a little table or something then going into the corner, and this is what the computer screen sits on. Would have made my life a lot more straightforward, I suppose, if I had just add all the stickers in as I was going along, but alas I haven't, so it's not even good with that now. There's a little flower in the middle of this table, which is hidden underneath things, so again, I don't know if that's a little Easter egg of some sort, perhaps. So it's in underneath what would be the screen for the games console or computer or whatever it is. This is quite a cool wee room, this actually. There's some cool details in here. We're building like a nice wee armchair as well. And so this is obviously Urban Kai's hangout with his little gaming chair and everything. We're just building the chair here now, and it's on like a little rotating plate, so it can spin around as well, which is good. That's a neat little chair anyway, and that just sits in the corner of the room. I'm actually going to pop Kai onto that now. He's just giving away there like a trooper in his room. And then the only other thing we have to do here with like a little sort of coat and hat stand. So we'll put that together. another little blue flower being used in here, interestingly enough, and that's just to keep the hat on the stand. And then that just goes into there. So there's kind of a little room we've put together so far. This is obviously, is it cool? Is it urban cool, did I say? Yeah, so urban cool just hanging out in his little room, gaming away. He also owns a telescope. Real telescope fans in this Ninjago world. Whoa, that went flying. Is there another one? Sorry, I lost the pace and was launched across my room. We're good. We're back. We're just putting this sort of little telescope style device together. It's very interestingly made using various contraptions, including a gold tap or faucet, as sort of you Americans would call them. And that goes. I've missed some pieces on this. Goes there. It's amazing these wee clip pieces. I don't know what it is with me, but I seem to always put them on the wrong way around for some reason. So I always have the clip facing the wrong direction. Right, so we've got that in place. And then we're just going to start building up a wee bit of the wall here now as well. Apologies, I have someone at my door. I will be back in just a second. Right, so a few bits pieces left to do here. Excited. I'm just going to try and finish this. So I can really build and then that'll wrap up tonight's stream. I don't have a huge amount left here. Going to plate around the side here then, or around the sort of top of the wall. I'll just sort of hold everything nice and neatly in place. It's actually a really nice sort of colour scheme, that sort of aqua and the dark bluish grey. Okay, and then we're just tiling off that as well. And then again, using a few more of these sort of funky, like I said, I kind of know them as brickhead glasses. So they sort of go onto the side then to create the little bars around. In this case, then they've used that sort of cool little there's like an anti-stud in the middle of one of the sides actually, and just placed the 1x1 teal plate at a nice angle, and that sort of creates a nice wee design on that as well. Okay, I need to flip it upside down. A few place one underneath. So again, this will be just sort of aimed at holding this in place. So it's just using gravity then to using gravity then just to hold this level in place, sort of rather than sort of adding any sort of points of attachment. This looks pretty cool. Some funky little contraption. I think it's like a little arcade machine maybe. Urban Code has got it going. He's got some neat kit. Only does he have his games console or gaming computer sitting on his desk, he also has it looks like he has his own arcade machine. So that's pretty neat. We'll just build this up then. I think the only thing left after that then will be the sort of sign that sits on the exterior of the building. So again, as is the case with the rest of the build, I'm obviously not putting in place the stickers, so we're a bit sort of shy on detail here, unfortunately. Including on the actual sort of screen of the console itself, because it's the sort of detail on the screen is just a little sticker then. However, we do have, I think it was actually designed in such a way where there's a little bit of movement in this, which is quite cool. Well, I can't get this to go in. Just physically set it in. Make an absolute hash of this here. Okay. What the heck is going on here? So we have this little piece here, which is in theory meant to slide in. Can I get it to slide? And there we go. Right, it's in now anyway. It didn't quite go in the way it's meant to, but it's there. And then with some sort of funky contraption that we're going to make here, and I suspect it's going to sort of add a little bit of sort of action to this little arcade machine. I suspect it's going to allow us to remove the little character on the screen up and down or something like that. We'll see soon enough. I'm not sure what the conclusion is just yet, but that's kind of what it feels like. It's sort of aiming toward. It's quite fiddly and figure getting these pieces in here though. We're working within sort of brackets and stuff, and it's a little bit figurey, but this thing goes on here. Presumably sits like so. Right, and again we're missing quite a few stickers. Oh, very good. Okay, I'll actually bring this over and let you have a wee look at it on the screen. So, it's quite neat. Quite neat what we've done here. Actually, I just realised I'm missing a piece. Okay, so that's the arcade machine finish. It looks really good. Actually, it is minus all of the stickers, which takes a lot away from it. But we see here. There is meant to be a sticker on the screen as well, which I presume is sort of what we're attacking. Oh, it's quite hard to make that out. I don't know how well you can see. If I pull that down, you can see we've got this little dude in here. There is meant to be, like, say, a sticker on the screen here, and then you flick this little lever, he jumps up and down. So I think that's pretty neat. And then that just pops into place in there. Very good. Urban Code has got some series kit. And then our last little section, then we just, this is the little sign then. That goes on the outside of the building. So we'll pull that up, and then that's us all finished for this evening. I'll bring the camera down, just let you have a wee quick look at again what we built, or what we finished tonight. I think we've got on pretty well. Alright, Mark, how are you? You have to excuse me, I'm tired. I'm not quite thinking at all. I'm just about to wrap up this stream, thankfully. Just cracking on with the Ninjago City Gardens, which is very cool. So all we've left to do is a wee sign that goes on the outside of one of the buildings here, and it looks pretty neat. Alright, so that goes in there. Feet. What am I missing here? I've done this wrong, haven't I? Of course I have. Okay, put that on there, and then this goes on the bottom. And then I think they're the same way around, aren't they? There we go. Alrighty, so don't know if anyone can work out what we're building yet, what the sign is. It's very, very cool the way they've done it though. As is the case with a lot of these Ninjago builds, some of the part usage is just fab. You just use some creative pieces, well, some very standard pieces, just in really creative and interesting ways. And there we are. So that is that. So there we have what one can only presume is a giant shrimp, or something akin to a giant shrimp. So I'll stick it on the side of the building, and then I'll pop that on top. And then I'll bring the camera down, and I'll just sort of give you a quick overview of where we've got up to today, and what we've built, and I'll sort of slightly closer detail then of those sort of three little elements that we just put together. Let's pop this back together and then stick it back on, and then I'll let you have a wee look at this all again, like I said, in a bit more detail. So he is meant to clip on. Can't get them together. It is a bit fiddly. It's just using sort of one little red axle to hold it all together. They're not the longest, and it's not the best of connections, to be honest. Not sure if I've done that entirely right. Oh dear. Don't know about that. Actually, just gonna have a wee look at this again. Dare or double dare? Alright, go on then. Give me a dare. I just want to check back here and see, because something just, it's not really sticking together terribly well here. Maybe let's just push through too far and not see. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, on a short. Oh, Sarah, seriously? It's taken me so long to get this far through the build. I just think that would make me cry. Leave it with me. I'll see. I don't know if I could actually bring myself to do that. Right. And given sort of how little luck I'm having with getting this sort of one piece to sort of stick together, I think I'll just end up as a complete disaster. Right, it's sitting on there now anyway. I just don't really understand the point of there's like a second sort of bar. I don't really understand the point of it, because there's nothing for it to clip onto. Or is there? Have I done something wrong here? Do you know what, actually? No, because that's... Right, okay, anyway. Right, that's kind of me done for the night. Sarah has dared me knock this all down on a short. I don't know if I can, Sarah, I'm sorry. It certainly wouldn't bring me much entertainment. I would hate to think what the double dare was. Maybe when I get the full thing built and I finish the build, I could knock it down in a short, because I suspect that I'm going to want to not necessarily rebuild the whole thing, but at some point I'm going to want to put all the stickers into it anyway. I don't know if it's going to be easy to put the stickers in if the set is in pieces. So I'll maybe come back on that one. I suggest you subscribe and just keep it alive in the future, and you can keep hassling me until I do it. How's that? But anyway, I'm going to pull the camera over here now anyway and give you all a quick overview of the set and what we built tonight, and that'll wrap us up. Okay, so here we are anyway. So this is just sort of up close and personal. So I'm going to take off this section first, because we did complete this little building here. So you can just see there's some of that nice detail on that, the nice wall. And then inside we have, I don't know what that's meant to represent. I don't know if it's a little bed. And then on the other side we have a little easel for some artwork, and a few other bits and pieces there. And then we also just completed Urban Cole's sort of funky little apartment here. So again, pretty neat build. We've got this little sort of staircase here that takes him down to the layer below. Sorry, I've actually got somebody in underneath there. Eileen, I believe her name is. So that goes up and down using that little knob there. You can see, obviously, he's got his telescope here. And then on the inside, we've got the gaming machine, we've got a television. There are meant to be stickers on each of these to represent sort of a game, and then a wee hat stand there as well. And then we obviously did this little section of the build here too. So again, just this nice little sort of temple style building up at the top here, with a little step up into it, and a wee table in there. And again, some really cool details, some nice roof work here. We've got these treasure chest pieces that are sort of acting as a roof, which I thought was pretty cool. And then we've got Kai, I don't know, is it Kai? Yeah, it is. Kai hanging out up top here. And then in the rear, we've got this little chamber here that opens up with a blue wedge inside. So I don't know what that represents, but I don't know if this is going to get covered up at a future part of the build. I'm not sure. But there you go. That's kind of where we're up to. There's a rear view then of the whole set. And if I spin that around, there is the full front view. So it's very busy. There's a lot going on there, but it's pretty epic, I think. But anyway, there's Kieran tuning in. Yo, Kieran, how you doing, man? Sorry to break it to you, but we're sort of wrapping up the stream here anyway, but it's good to see you. Thank you for dropping by. Remember, guys, give us a wee thumbs up if you have sort of stopped by. Massively appreciate that, and don't be afraid to drop us a sub as well and pop over and sort of check out some of the other content. Have a great weekend anyway, folks, and take care. Thank you very much. See you.